Hey everybody, welcome. I think it's working. Trying a new feature here. There we go. So hey everybody, welcome back to a new weekly live. See now? Okay, maybe that should do it. I apologize. Facebook, you hit live and things pop up and I'm not quite sure when it starts. So I will still opt for Tuesday live sessions at 2 o'clock, even though LinkedIn does, or excuse me, Facebook does not make this as easy as some of the other platforms. But anyway, we're here now. And thank you again for joining in to another weekly Jobsticker's Job Seeker Resource Show. I'm 𝗵𝗲𝗇𝗏, your host. And today I am going to do, again, like I did last week, I'm going to answer 3 Quora questions. And Quora is essentially a platform like Reddit where it allows the users to post questions and hopefully have subject matter experts chime in on some answers. So, and I will pick some of the ones relating to resumes and job hunting, interview training. So, thank you again for joining. Let's start right here with first question I see. How do I add research to a resume? Interesting. Okay, so with the resume, when it comes to some of these sections like projects or publications, presentations, research, they're all kind of in that bucket of additional information outside of what the standard information you need on your resume, which would be a summary, some key skills, and an experience section, education, slash certification training, if you will. So those are kind of the bare bones of the layout. And with research, you can massage its own section in. It's fine having a section called research. But if you decide to list research, make sure it's relevant to what you're trying to do. So if you're in like the clinical space and the new job will have heavy emphasis on research, and you can get that off the job description. It'll let you know. Just read the job description and see how many times they talk about research or how much of a bulk percentage it might weigh as your day-to-day responsibilities, how much it would weigh. And essentially then, if you know that it would be a positive to list your research, then do it. But when you're setting up the section, have it kind of formulated in the same way you would have like your experience section, right? So you'd have like your title of your research. So maybe you were just a research specialist or you were assistant researcher or whatever title they gave you for that research. Have the location you're researching, the which is the actual physical company, or if it's in this case, maybe if it's a school, you would put, University of Notre Dame. Then the location, South Bend, Indiana. Then the year, right? So maybe 2021. Then have a line of that right underneath that of what the research was and what you did, and get to the point. Don't make this a paragraph long for each research project. Short, succinct. What does the reader need to know about this research? What was the successful outcome of the research? And so if you can get each research story maybe with 2 bullets each, you'd be in good shape. You can maybe go into a third bullet if you have to mention some technical stuff that was involved in the research that would help in terms of like the buzzwords and formulating more of your message towards the hiring manager that would be interested in those types of technological technology. Excuse me. So think in terms of, if this doesn't make the reader excited, when am I going to keep it on there? And quick and succinct if you're adding research, because sometimes those can drag out quite a bit. I've seen. Where did you go to apply for your IT job in 2021? Did LinkedIn work for you? If not, what worked? Okay, so essentially, it sounds like, I'm not sure because I've never seen on Quora the ability to interact in an open forum with someone specific. So I'm not sure who that was geared or directed towards, but in any case, yeah, use LinkedIn to apply for roles. I know LinkedIn and Indeed are the 2 big ones right now, and ZipRecruiter is having some success. So lean on those websites. But like I tell my clients, don't just rely on that as your one thing you're doing all day. You need to be doing the networking, building relationships, driving your unique selling proposition, your value, driving that to the masses. So getting involved in groups or within networks on LinkedIn of people that are like-minded or in your industry, and then start striking up conversations or go and comment on their posts and follow up with relevant articles on a message, or track down companies you want to work for at certain locations, geographical locations, and then go and hunt down hire managers or professionals in the space within that company that you want to work in, and start information gathering, start setting up informational interviews just to ping them and say, interested in talking about your role and what it takes to make a successful employee at your company, because I've always been interested in maybe working there. Don't ask, just try to give and deliver value, deliver insight that they might not have known of, that they might not have been aware of, that'll help them improve their day to day. And people, it'll start sticking out if you stick to it and be consistent with your network and your cultivation of relationships. So yeah, use LinkedIn to apply for an IT job. Perfect. Okay. And it might or might not work. I mean, that's kind of a loaded question. You never know what's going to work. So, but I definitely use the online job board still, because it gets directly to the recruiters, as well as it positions you within their applicant tracking systems, which means they might call you in 6 months if you are found in a different search. So that's always a good rule of thumb to not just use the applications online, but to also use some organic ways to find the backdoor entrance to the company you want to work at. Okay, what is a sample email for sending a resume? Okay, yes. So when you're teeing up an email to a prospect, a prospective hiring manager, if you will, short and succinct, give them a few accomplishments, weave those in to the message as to why they should be opening your resume, right? So if you're applying to a marketing role and you saw the job description mentioned SEO was like a bulk of what you're gonna be doing, and maybe cleaning up old broken links or something on the web pages, whatever. Tell them about your success doing something like that, or a transferable skill or accomplishment that relates to that. Make sure every time you have communication with any recruiter or hiring manager, you're always sprinkling a little bit of your own win or achievement or skill, that just so they're aware and it's more top of mind. So when they look at you and say, this person applied to my role, look at in their message to me with their resume, they mentioned a few accomplishments that directly relate to this role that we have open that they're applying for. I'm interested in reading what the resume is going to say now. So don't try to be, too in your face and clever. Sure, sometimes it works, but sometimes it can backfire. But I would stick to something professional, quick, add your value of what you're good at and why you're good at it, kind of thing. What makes you relating to that role, and a nice little wrap up saying, thank you in advance, and please let me know if you like to chat. Something short, sweet, simple, logical. You don't want to ruffle feathers, so keep it professional. All right, so thank you again for joining in this week. Those were the 3 questions. And we will be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock, on the LinkedIn Live. And then again, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock here on the Facebook group live. So thank you again. And I hope this recorded. We shall see. I tried a new way. There's like 3 different ways to do this Facebook Live stuff. So I'm still getting used to it. But thanks for hanging in there with me.